like the one website that loads really slowly on my computer is always Twitch. Should be good. Alright. Yeah. Cool. So it's time, everybody, for part 2 of AeroGauge, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I want to show everybody the one fun part about this game. And you know what's really amazing is that to get to the only like enjoyable thing about this game to me, you have to do one of two things that is like excruciatingly frustrating. So I'll tell everybody, look, you get to drive an N64 controller. It's amazing. Look, and you can get all the original colors, all the solid colors: gray, red, green, blue, black, yellow, all of them. It's great. And then you also get, there's a couple more cars you can drive too. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, another 5 cars that you unlock. 5 vehicles, 5, whatever the fuck they're called. So what I'm gonna do is just try these cars. The thing about these ones is they're all a little bit more in the extremes than, or at least that's what it seems like to me, is that they're a little bit more in the extremes than the default cars. It's like the Hornet, it's kinda, its stat shape looks kinda like that, and then there's that one. So the Hornet and the Prowler are kinda like go together, and then there's the Reaper. Black Lightning and Vengeance are basically the same. The Reaper and the Interceptor. Interceptor. Yeah, sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're a little bit more extreme, like the Shredder and the Prowler. The Shredder, the Prowler, and the Hornet all have the same. Yeah. Anyway, so the only reason we're here to do the N64 controller. I'm gonna Black. Cool. So the thing about this, though, the thing about even like unlocking it, there's, first of all, what I did, the worst cheat code ever, where you have to hold the 3 buttons on controller 2, and then press another 2 buttons, and then press the start button on controller 1. Oh, also, oh, I fucked that up. I'm gonna do it again. I'm trying to do a million things here. Oh, it doesn't matter anyway. I'm just gonna. To start fast, I found this out. Set. All you have to do is hold A and B. Excuse me. Hold A and B, and then when he says go, just let go of B. So that way, not everybody kind of takes off on you, but it's still not that great, because the way that the rest of the game is going to go, the way the rest of the race is going to go, you're probably still going to be way the fuck behind. See, I'm in 6th right now because I've managed to pass 2 people. But, oh yeah, see, just tried to drift and fucked it up, and that guy's going to pass me right now. Hey, I got that one, but it actually barely helps me. My speed's up a little bit right now, but yeah, it didn't work. I'll admit sometimes I do try to drift on places you can't necessarily drift, but I'm just doing that to increase the amount of times I do it, like to make sure I do it at every possible point for the most part. Yep, fucked it up there. And, you know, notice I haven't improved on anything since I started the race with that fast start. Hey, I got that one. Don't hit the tunnel. 2 in a row. Still in 7th place because I fucked that one up. You'd think I got two boosts in a row, I might get a little bit of leeway. You know, I might gain a little bit of distance. But take a look at the map on the left right there. There's 3 of us who are all kind of in the same area. And then the other 5 members of the field are way ahead of us. So it doesn't matter if I get into 6th place. I'm never going to catch anybody up there. What am I supposed to do? Basically boost at every possible turn and don't ever fuck up, and maybe you have a chance. Because even if I did it right all the time, I still, like, look how far ahead of me they are. Would I even have a chance of keeping up? So yeah, that's the most fun thing about this game, is you can fly an N64 controller, and it's kind of cool. Its symbol is the control stick, so that's fun. Let's try. Let's just keep moving with the other ones. Oh, you can also change the color. The way I changed the color on the N64 controller is you hit the R button. So that one has a bunch of different colors. These ones, the rest of them pretty much just have 2. So now I'm driving the Hess truck in the air. And we'll keep moving up. So in total, there's also only 6 tracks, like I said. Not many tracks, but 6 tracks is kind of an asterisk, because there's only the 4 tracks that you start with, and then the 2 other ones are kind of like, they're not designed differently. They're like little spin-off tracks, basically. That's why they have the same symbol with like a little thing on the side of it. And this one, for example, is just a circuit speedway, and that's why you do it 5 times. It's like Baby Park in Double Dash. It's the regular circuit. It's got elevation changes. It goes up and down, but it's still just basically a circuit. So, you know what? I so don't care about doing the qualifying laps. It's so stupid to me that you even have to do them in single player. Like in single one-off races, you still have to do that. That's so dumb. So yeah, so that guy's easy to pull off, because you can get that cadence in ready, set, go. And you fuck up that first corner and you are screwed. Look at that. Everyone's out in front of you. You have no chance. No chance. What a fucking travesty of a racing game this is. And if you go in the options menu, there's actually difficulty setting, and it's always been on novice. Like, this is the novice setting. You cannot fuck up. You cannot do anything wrong. Because look at this. Look at how far ahead everybody else is. Just for me not being able to pull off boosts right away, they were all out in front of me. It doesn't matter what my pole position was. They were, like, way ahead of me. It's funny too, a lot of these tracks, a lot of the nuances of the design that I said I do like, this was before it, so it's not like they stole it, but there's a lot of things that I noticed that I like because I feel like they're very similar to Star Wars Racer. The whole thing about Star Wars Racer is that except for the Tatooine track, the first track, the easiest track, which is the same one as in the movie, they're all things you've never seen before. So they basically had more or less free reign to do whatever they wanted in designing tracks. And they would sometimes, they don't have these like tunnels and everything, but there's a couple of them that take place. They have a lot of like those like glass walls where they're kind of going underwater. And then there are actually some that, you know what, now that I think of it, there's a couple of spots, probably on the same tracks, that go through tunnels that look kind of like that. So yeah, I don't know if sometimes I'm just complimenting the design, because it reminds me sometimes of Star Wars Racer, which is a much, much better game than this. Good lord. No, not retrying. Wait. Alright. So what have I done? Done Dominator. Do Reaper. Oh, yeah, with the other bonus. No way. Purple. Chinatown. That looks like a clusterfuck of a track. Ready, set. Yeah, I don't care. Not doing that. So stupid. It's funny. I'm gonna not do the track by myself so that I can skip ahead to the race where I'll only ever be, you know, a mile and a half behind everyone else and complain about it. But what fun is a racing game if you're forced to basically do time trials when you don't want to do time trials? Racing is racing. And even if you're gonna be way the fuck behind everybody all the time for making just basically, I shouldn't get punished this hard for not being able to pull off their one mechanic. Like, even if I lose speed on corners that I can't pull off the drift boost, I shouldn't fall miles behind for messing that up one time. Oh my god. Fucking nightmare. I'm gonna get lapped on what looks like possibly the longest track in this game. On the first lap. And I don't know where the shield regenerator things are, so I'm probably gonna just explode. Oh yeah, and look at that, my temp gauge went up to the top, so I can't even do a drift boost until that thing goes down. So what am I supposed to do? Oh, cool. Now it goes down. Probably because I'm damaged, but still, this game works against you so much at that point. Hey, Shieldy. Temp gauge is at the top. What am I supposed to do? To basically crash into walls every time I take a corner or take wicked slow. What is that? Wow. That's how fucking bad they think I was doing. They just ended the race because everyone was done. Ugh. I'm just going through the motions at this point. Whatever, let's do everything this time with no drifting. See how much better I do. Because if you don't drift, you can't lose all that much speed by not drifting. By not being able to pull it off. Ready, set. Resist the urge to drift. Still banging into the wall and still... Oh, look at everybody else going faster than me. narrow walls. Really? That's... Well, drifting or not, I'm still completely fucking screwed. Like, not even halfway into the first lap. What is this? Oh yeah, and so this, I can see it here too. This curve right here, this big U-curve at the bottom, is exactly half of the circuit track. That's what it is. So basically they close it off and they make it a double circuit track. Or a closed speedway style circuit track. It's amazing. I feel like I'm still not as far behind as I would be in other races if I'd been trying to drift the whole time. Of course, I'm judging that based on how far ahead the person in 7th place is, and not how far ahead the pack is, but still. Yeah, get my shields back. At this rate, they're probably gonna cut the race short anyway. They're gonna do the same thing. All the person in 7th has done since I mentioned how, oh, it's only a 2-lap race. Great. Mercy. Good lord. All right. Last, finally, this one, and so we know what that one's gonna look like, so we'll just do this one and see if it's any different, and thankfully it's only 2 laps.
Ready, set.
What a dumb mechanic. A dumb format, basically. Who the fuck cares?
Ready, set.
Look at that, I'm in 7th. And I hit a wall, and goodbye, everybody. Don't know where the corners are. Fucking really? Alright, this is just an embarrassment. So you know what? I have to point out one thing. I was told by people online, like in reviews and stuff, that what the fuck is all these turns? This is horrible. I was actually told that you go faster when you're closer to the ground. And that seems to be the opposite of the truth. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that is incorrect, but given how far ahead of me everybody is all the time, I don't really think it matters. You'll notice that I kinda stick closer to the ground in most races, because I guess, like, I feel like in the back of my mind I'm thinking about that, seeing if that's gonna help me at all. Oh my god. But yeah, overall, like, I guess the opposite seems to be true, because if I go up in the air, I pick up like 30 miles an hour, but an extra 30 miles an hour when you're going 300 is not as big of a difference as it is in, you know, a real racing game like with cars, where they're gonna go like 150, depending on what you're driving. Oh, fuck you. Like 150 if we like were to technically quantify that as, you know, just 1 out of 150, 1 mile per hour. That's a whole third, whereas now it's a whole tenth of how fast you're actually going. So it makes a much smaller difference in this game if you have to pick up. I mean, I know it's still making a difference. I'm not saying it's not a big part of it. But when the gap between you and the guy in front of you is that much greater, oh, you're gonna end the race. Wow. Yeah, when the gap between you and the guy in front of you is that much greater, the amount of speed doesn't matter as much. I don't feel like. You know what I don't feel like? I don't feel like playing this awful game anymore. Much better game coming up next is going to be Bust a Move 2 Arcade Edition. Really cool. I mean, straightforward, simple game, but a good game. You know, you gotta love Bust a Move. This is not a good racing game. I don't know if I'd put it like at the very bottom of the N64 racing games, just because there's so many, and I've already played a couple of the really bad ones. But there are so many different options for even this kind of racing game. They put the control pad in the intro video when you have it. You have so many better options for just this kind of racing game, the futuristic type of racing game, that there's no reason for you to play this. It is not worth your time, period. This is not, it's like they didn't even like refine the mechanics to the point that they worked, and that the AI like was balanced out or something like that. Like there's very little to like about this game, because even when you look at the design is completely wasted. The design has some really good elements to it, but it was completely wasted on just a mechanically broken game. So I will see everybody next time for Bust a Move 2. Thank you for watching. See you next time.